Okay, so I thought I was recording, or I was recording, but then I hit pause video and had some other things coming up. And so, yeah, long story short, I did a bunch of stuff, but it got lost in the file. So we were on the scene controller, and I had a bunch of errors. Let me just go through them real quick. So on the IEnumerator, right here, the get destination was an error because I didn't create a protected scene destination for it. So I've done that. I also had the two errors here. The reason why, because I called them entrance something when I should have been calling them by the entrance transform. That was my bad. So, throwing it out there. Super tired. I apologize. I did go through my script. I did find some other issues I went ahead and fixed. So hopefully this will work. Additionally, I created a simple sprite. This P stands for player. So anytime you have a sprite and you import it, you're going to see me import a lot of PNG files. Make sure they're set to sprite. I'm going to hit apply. And this way we can just bring them up in here. Yay, we got a sprite in the scene. This way? Yes, this way. Who sent me what? Oh, that's funny. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So we have a plane right here, and we're in scene test 22. You might be wondering what the hell that is. Well, I actually created a few different scene tests, so if we go to build settings, oh, it's not on here. Well, you know what? Screw the scene. We don't need it. So I'm going to create Lively Forest. This is going to be called Scene 01. Or actually, I'm going to call it Forest Scene 01. I'm going to hit create. Don't save. And then I'm going to create a one for 02. And here's what I like about this system is if you go up here to build settings, look at that, it automatically adds them. Woohoo! Okay, back to work. So for 02, I'm actually going to pull this in here. And I need to go ahead and create a new game object. So let me go into create empty. This is going to be called transition point. So we have transition point, and we will want to do the transition point. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do Box Collider 2D, and this will be a trigger. And we have all of this now. So this is really cool. Like, this is awesome. Check this out. So we have the transition point right here. And we have our player right here in the middle of this cube. You know what? That cube is just obnoxious. I'm going to move that. So we have transition point right here, and we have transitioning game object. Thinking. I thought about something. So I'm going to go here to create folder, prefabs. I'm going to go ahead and bring my transition point down here. So we have one prefab for it. Then I'm going to go back in here. I need to go ahead and create a empty. This will be called destination point. Destination. And scene transition destination. So we have this right now. So I'm actually going to come back in here to prefabs. And I'm going to throw that down there. So why am I doing that? That is actually a very good question. I'm going to go into File. No. Bad Unity. Don't save. I'm going to go into Template Scene. Oh, I need to go into Assets. I'm actually not saving these in the right spot, so I will need to fix that. But you know what? For now, it works. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Build Settings. Get rid of these. And the reason why we're doing that, because I'm actually going to show you how cool this template scene is. So we have this. I'm going to go into Prefabs, throw both of these up here, and I'm going to move these right here. I actually want these overlapping each other. Actually, you know what? That's perfect right there. Go ahead and duplicate these. I'm going to move this one over here. I'm going to move this right here, and then the destination will be over here. So I'm not really too worried about this right now. I'll fix all this here in just a second. So I'm going to save the template scene. New scene. Lively. Oh, wait. I still need the... No, I don't need the player. Player's fine. Doesn't matter. New scene name. This will be called Forest Scene 01. I'm going to hit create, and then we'll make 02. Create. Done. Alright. Now, why does that matter? What did I just do? So we're going to go into 01 and check this out. Destination. So we want to actually make the player go. So we're going to go to Sprites, player. We're going to need a box collider. And I'll create a script for this later, but we do need a trigger. So let's go ahead and do, well, this one can be that, but this one will have to be trigger. So I'm actually going to make this just a little bit larger. Something like that. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to move that stupid cube. You know what? The cube is fine. The cube is beautiful. It can stay there, but it's got to go back some. Okay, so transition point. Where are we transitioning? We are transitioning the player. Transition type, we're going to move them to a different zone. The scene name that we're transitioning to is called Forest Scene 02. Destination tag A. And then this destination will be set as tag A, and the one that we'll be receiving is the player. This is actually scenes. I need to fix that script. That is not correct at all, but that is fine. So we're actually going to say scenes. Okay, we will save. And transition point. Let's see. Destination transform, which will be meh, I believe. But we don't want interact press. We actually want an on trigger enter for this to work. So we have that now. This is scene 1. So let's go into scene 2. We have the destination over here. And then we have the destination point. So for the destination, check this out. Oh wait, we still need the player. So let's go into project, sprites, player. And I will create, whenever we create the template scene, it will have the player in there. I'm too lazy and too stupid to do it right now. That's really all it is. I'm actually going to move this over here. So we'll be able to tell real quickly, because when the player transitions, they should be just, actually they'll barely be outside, so I actually want to move this over here. So we should see this cube jump when they transition. Destination, so I actually want this one, and we set this to A. And this will be on trigger enter. Scene name, this is Scenes Forest Scene 01. Save. Alright, so if I have done this correctly, let me hit play. Click on player. Ooh, did I forget something? Oh. Player. I may have forgotten something, so I might have to go back through and fix this code. But essentially what should be happening is once I hit this transition point. Yep, I know exactly what's going on. You would think I'd be smarter than that. But of course it's still not working, so let me go ahead and do a rigid body real quick. That might help. We are not going to use... I'm not going to use that. Hopefully it'll work now. Okay, so yeah, I'm missing something. Okay, that has a lot to do with it. That actually has everything to do with it. So I'm going to set this at 0. Player should be set to 0, and it is. There we go. It worked. So that's what was going on. Jimmy, you dumbass. Okay, I'll need to fix that. But as you can see, it did load. It just didn't quite load over here like we wanted it to, but it is working. So I'm at least a little happy with that. It kind of works, so I'll have to finish setting this up, and hopefully I'll be able to get it. I know I'll be able to get it. I mean, yeah. Let me go ahead and open this back up. So, this is the basics of it. Y'all see that it's kind of working. I have a few things I need to fix, but it's working. it's progress. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can and as something as I can, as clear as I can, I guess. I don't know. Tired. But hopefully, this is giving you guys a little understanding of programming, scripting, whatever you want to call it. There is a difference between the two. Scripting is basic, programming is a little more in depth. Where the line is drawn between the two, I have no idea. No one's ever said this is programming, this is scripting, but either way, it doesn't matter. The basics of what I was doing will be the same thing that you guys do. You know what, I'm actually going to show you this real quick. We need a script for the player, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Well, the first thing we want to do is make sure that this thing doesn't rotate, because that sucks when it does. Next thing we'll need, create C# script, player movement. And we're also going to need a ground. So I'm just going to call this ground, add component, box collider, edit collider. So you might be wondering why I don't really care about it being why I don't really care about if it's not lined up with the player or not. And the reason why, because when you're talking about 2D components, it actually doesn't matter if it's lined up with the player or not, because all things that are 2D are basically orthographic projection, so that doesn't matter. Let's go into the player movement. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do a check for is, are we going left or right? Well, that's going to be an input, so we need to define speed. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to say public float speed. And let's go ahead and just give that a value of 3. So for the update, we're going to say float speed x, which equals input dot get axis raw. This will be horizontal, and that will be multiplied by speed times time dot delta time. And so what we can do is we can say, actually no, I think that'll work. I think. Guys, I'm like super tired. Like, wow. One thing that will not work is I'll need to do why would you do that, Jimmy? Copy component, paste component values. Paste component values as new. There we go. So now I can uncheck this as that, and I'll say 1.2, 1.2. This way the trigger will always have a slight overlap from the collision. This can cause issues. I really don't care. Of course it's not going to work. You know why? Because 1, I need to set gravity scale to 1, and 2, this needs a script. Okay. Now this should work. I hope this works. I'm so tired. Okay, it falls. It still does not move. Did I spell horizontal right? Probably not. Let me type it in here. Horizontal. Hey, I did spell it right. Let me go to the scripting API. Yeah, I do all this cool. Scripting, and I can't even figure out a float speed. And what the hell is wrong with me? What was I typing in? Oh. That's what I'm forgetting. Jimmy, you dumbass. Something so simple. Transform dot translate, and we want movement of the x, so that's actually going to be speed x, and this will be 0, 0. Hopefully this will work. And we're not going to keep the overlap the way it's set. We're actually going to do something different. There we go. So I go D-sway, we hit scene transition, and boom. So it's crap. I know it's crap. But you know what? It's working. That's all that matters. But as you can see, all I did was, okay, I know I need one for speed. I create a float for speed x, which takes in the value of speed, looks at the axis, and multiplies time.delta time. But Jimmy, what about jump? Well, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Public float jump something. Jump force, I guess. If input dot get key down key code dot sappy really help if I could concentrate. So we can't just say this because we have to do something with it. So we're going to have to say serialized field rigid body 2D RB 2D, and we now need to specify it. Start RB 2D equals RB 2D dot get component rigid body 2D. There we go. Then we're going to say RB 2D dot add force 0 jump force 0 blah. Wait. Oh, it's a vector 2. My bad. Wait. So what does it need to be? Did I even type that incorrectly? Let me see what the add force. Oh, because it needs to transform. That's why. Transform dot up multiplied by jump force. You'd think I would have remembered that, but I really didn't. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So we'll just go into player. We want the jump force. Well, we want him to be able to leave Earth's gravity. So let's say 1,000 because lol. Throw that in there. Hit play. And Houston and Echo Tango Delta Bravo. We have liftoff. Where'd he go? Oh, he's up there somewhere. He's coming back down. Just a minute. Did I ever set the grab? Yeah, I did. So as you can see, that kind of works. But more realistic number would probably be 10. You can actually change the gravity scale. You can also make it a negative gravity scale. So if you guys think it'd be cool to have them like do all those cool inversions and things like that. Okay, so his jump force should actually be 0.1. Wait, am I doing get key or get key down? I'm doing get key down. Okay, good. Whee! Whoa! Space jump. Now, if you're wondering why I'm able to do multiple jumps in the air, this is because I'm not doing a check to see if I'm hitting the ground or not. So if I did a check for is grounded, then that would prevent me from doing that. So the simple way we can do that, ground, I'm going to add a tag. This is not the way we're going to do it, but you know what? I'm just showing you the easy way. Ground, save, come back in here. We'll do on trigger enter if other dot game object dot tag equals ground. Did I call it ground? I think. Ground, there we go. Then is what we're going to do is we're going to say is grounded equals true, but up here we're going to need a private bool is grounded, and we're going to say is grounded equals true. trigger exit. We will say, how could you guys let me forget about that? So this will still have some issues with it. No biggie. But you're going to see that it is working a lot better than what it was. And like I said, I'm just throwing this together real quick just to give you guys an idea. I figure why not. So it looked like he is able to still do it. Oh, I know why. So we're doing the key code space, but we're not specifying it in here where we're saying if is grounded. So by adding that one line of code, you'll see that now you might be able to get 2 jumps initially, but I'm going to do it while I'm in the air. So I'm sitting there just spamming the space bar. As you can tell, nothing's happening. But if you saw right there, I actually did get 2 jumps off. It's very slight, but the reason why, because we have a slight overlap with the trigger area, and that's what's causing that. But as you can see, all I'm doing is just going through, like, trying to figure out what I need to set up, how I need to set it up, and things like that. But that's basically what we're going to be doing. Anyways, I am going to call it a night. I'm going to save this. I'm going to call it a night, and I'll talk to y'all later.